A very good evening to one and all, especially the esteemed dignitaries of L&T and all my colleagues joining from L&T all over the world. I would also like to thank the corporate digital team for giving me an opportunity to talk about the smart glass solution implemented at L&T Valves. We have implemented smart glass for various applications from remote inspection to real-time plant to remote training and so on. So we have branded it as Smart.view, where AR cleverly represents augmented reality, which is the core feature of the smart glass platform. Moving on, we'll see a couple of things throughout the presentation, starting from the overview, going to the infrastructure we needed to have the solution work, and what impact it had on the business. So just to tell briefly what the platform is, there is a smart glass which a person in the factory wears. You can see that there is a camera in the smart glass. So whatever the person sees, the person who is remotely sitting can view it in his own laptop. So the challenges we were facing at that time was that our order inflow was reducing and we were missing our on-time delivery, because of which new customers were hesitant to get give us orders. Our existing customers were spreading a bad word of mouth that we were missing orders, and because of which even the other customers became hesitant to give us orders. But in reality, we had done a number of improvements which had actually steadily improved our on-time delivery, and since the customers were even not willing to meet us, we could not demonstrate all the improvements we had done. So that was the challenge we were having. Now you'll see a brief video about the solution itself. I'll just reshare my screen because I think the audio was not shared. So here you go.
L&T Valves invites you to the future of valves. The future is bright and digital. An end-to-end digital backbone powers all operations at L&T Valves, from the first customer contact to valve delivery and beyond. A portfolio of smart and digital applications works together to maximize operational efficiency and customer satisfaction. L&T Valves invites you on a real-time tour to the future of valve manufacture, SmartView, the digital collaboration platform that leverages augmented reality technologies. The solution virtually teleports customers to our manufacturing facility, minimizing the limitation of distance and time. SmartView elements include augmented reality glasses, a secure cloud-based collaboration platform, and a web interface. SmartView transmits what the wearer sees to designated recipients and facilitates visual monitoring and inspection. Voice, chat, and live annotation enhance the clarity of communication. SmartView enables seamless collaboration among stakeholders dispersed across the globe. Remote training is an area where SmartView makes a huge difference, especially when it involves mission-critical equipment in remote locations.
So that's what basically the platform was. Uh, the person who is wearing the smart glass actually has the inputs given by the remote users overlaid onto the reality. How that is done is there is a projector in the smart glass, and the projector directly projects whatever inputs are given into his eyes, and that input is overlaid onto his reality. That's why the whole platform becomes the augmented reality. Moving on to how it was used as a sales tool initially, we used it in all of our international exports, starting with Valworld Germany, Valworld Americas, the Abu Dhabi International Petroleum Expo in Abu Dhabi, and then the Defense Expo in India. So we had the television in the expo show remotely, whatever the person was wearing and whatever the person was seeing in the shop floor back in India wearing the smart glass. You can see the crowd who's gathered and they are seeing the virtual expo, they are seeing the expo, they are seeing the augmented reality uh, on the television over there. So this particular platform was a novelty in the valve industry. That's why it was published in leading newspapers such as Chemical Engineering World, then in the Valved Americas conference paper, in Chemtech conference paper, and so on. Then, apart from the expos, through the tool, we were able to secure meetings with so many new customers. We were able to tell them that we have a new augmented reality platform and there are a lot of advantages because you will be able to do inspection of the completely assembled valve remotely from their own office, and they would save a lot of cost which they presently incur in the form of third party inspectors. By giving all these reasons, we were able to secure a lot of meetings, one-on-one meetings with all these customers. We went to their office, we connected our laptops, projected onto their screens, and showed them whatever the person wearing in the shop floor, wearing the smart glass in the shop floor was able to see. Apart from that, we use the tool also for a lot of our paid customer training. So customers pay us to know more about Valve. So we held trainings in US, Singapore, Saudi Arabia, and in the training we were able to show them how the valve is assembled and answer a lot of their queries by actually showing the valve through the augmented reality platform. This was another use case from the Defense Expo. You can see the feedback from the sales representative after the expo. Augmented reality was a grand success, I should say, at Defense Expo, as we had huge curiosity and pleasant surprise reactions from many of the Navy and other defense clients. They were appreciative of the fact that we have adopted digital in a big way. So that's the feedback from the sales rep, and this is the actual demonstration of what is happening in the shop floor through the augmented reality platform. So, coming to the impact which augmented reality has had on our business, uh, in the last 2 years since we've begun using the smart glass, we have onboarded 1,050 new customers, which is roughly 25% of our 60 years old customer base. You can see how many customers we've been able to reach out to by inciting them about the augmented reality platform. Then these customers were not only just onboarded, many of them gave us really big orders. One of the biggest orders we got, the Technicals Reunidas order, we got was from one such new customer, and our order inflow increased from 600 crores in financial year 18 to 1,600 crore in financial year 19, and we had also got 1,200 crore in financial year 20. So you can see twice, thrice the times of the order inflow which we had previously. These are some of the other use cases on how we build confidence in a particular customer. So we had one of the DGQA, defense, the DGQA, who is like the head of the Army Division for QA. And he visited to our plant and we demonstrated the platform. He was impressed by it. Then there was a further communication that they wanted to incorporate the augmented reality platform in the quality and assembly procedure. So, and they were willing to apply this to two types of orders at that time. And finally, you can see that we received the official communication. All the confidential data is hidden behind the blue box. So you can see only the main highlight. You can see what they have said. They have told that it is submitted that MS L&T Valves Coimbatore has facility to undertake remote inspection of QA activities from uh, The folks who are at Chennai, our customer, they'll just go to the L&T office in Chennai itself instead of traveling all the way to Coimbatore plant. And then by this, they were able to reduce time frame of overall inspection activities. So you can see that this was done way back even before uh, before the pandemic hit the world and the travel activities were crippled. But in spite of the fact that the pandemic had not even hit us yet, this procedure was already approved. And when the pandemic actually hit us, we didn't have to spend time on demonstrating the capability of the platform uh, and or have such kind of a procedure developed newly. We already had everything in place, and that really helped us not that really helped us in not even losing a single day of production when the lockdown was imposed. So this here you can see the infrastructure put in place. We procured 9 access points for Coimbatore and another 11 access points for our Kanchipuram plant. So this access point gives Wi-Fi to the smart glass, and by getting the Wi-Fi, the person who is wearing the smart glass is able to project whatever he's seeing live to the customer. Now, the important point to note here is this particular Wi-Fi access point gives Wi-Fi only for a range of 100 square meters, and we had a plant of around 100,000 square meters only in Coimbatore itself. So we'd need around 1,000 of these, but the cost would become prohibitive. So what we did was we identified key locations in the plant where the smart glass tour would usually take place. So you can see the red circles here, 1, 3, 4, 9. So that was the sequence of places where we walk through with the smart glass and where usually the inspection activities, etc., take place. So this kind of mapping helped us save costs by avoiding the installation of the access point throughout the plant. And whenever some particular customer wanted to see something, we would anticipate what he would want to see, and we would accordingly move the access point to that location. One example here you can see is the Dukum customer. So you can see this is a very good case where customer was very apprehensive with going with L&T Valves initially, and towards the end they actually wanted to go with us. So I'll just read it out. Lukum has been skeptical in approving L&T for TOBV, which is a type of valve. Their preference is some other customer who is already in the approved vendor list. Our the Dukum is the end customer and Saipem is the direct customer. So Saipem has tried to push us, but it was turned down by Dukum. So Saipem arranged a casual meeting directly with Dukum. The intention of the meeting was to showcase some manufacturing and testing capabilities specific to butterfly valves to Dukum. We have given them a short presentation on L&T valves and also took the opportunity to give them the smart glass tour of TUBV manufacturing of Coimbatore plant. During the SMART tour, Dukum inquired on our fugitive emission testing capability. We demonstrated our FE testing equipment and a live test in Hood method. So actually before the test, the customer had not even indicated to us that they wanted to see the fugitive emission testing. But we knew that the upcoming orders of Dukum may have a fugitive emission requirement. So we had moved one of the access points from some location to this particular area. And luckily, when the question arose during the smart tour, we were able to demonstrate it live during the smart tour. So you can see that this helped Dukum instantly register a good feel about L&T valves. So this was a very good example of customer confidence building. Moving on, I had told initially that we had done a lot of improvements in shop floor, which we were not able to demonstrate to our customers. But once we had the smart glass in place, we could actually go down and show them how we had barcoded the storage locations in the stores, which allowed us to retrieve material only specific to their projects, avoiding mix-up of materials. Since valve industry has very sensitive materials like stainless steel fasteners and in some cases carbon steel fasteners, and if by mistake if we use the carbon steel fastener instead of a stainless steel fastener, it could lead to serious valve damage and damage to the customer's plant itself. So another example was we used to barcode the components itself so that the customer can see the progress of the manufacturing. We also showed them how by scanning the barcode of the component, the assembly procedure gets displayed on the screen there. And finally, how by scanning the barcode again, the testing parameters automatically get updated in the machine, from the pressure holding time to the actual pressure value. All the values get updated automatically for the customer's requirements. So it ensured that we didn't test the valve in some suboptimal pressure and pass the valve. We actually always got the valve tested in the as per the specification stated by the customer, and the report is generated automatically. So no manual intervention, no testing operator manually inputting what was the leakage value. Everything is captured automatically, which gave a lot of confidence to the customer. So you saw initially there was a negative word of mouth spreading about L&T Valves that we were delaying orders and other customers were unwilling to give us order. Once we had the augmented reality in place, you can see the situation became opposite. So you can see that one customer is talking with another customer, telling him that remote valve inspection utility at Larsen & Toubro. We came to know that your principal has tools for remote inspection so that client in-person witness is replaced with audio-visual interaction with your factory staff. In the current corona situation and travel restrictions, such facilities have gained additional importance. We believe that such technology has benefits to the manufacturer side as well as it reduces the time interruption taken during inspection days. So you could see how from negative word of mouth, the augmented reality platform helped us get a positive word of mouth. So we standardized this smart inspection in the form of an SOP. You can see we had clearly defined what is the internet bandwidth required and other parameters, and we incorporated into our inspection procedures. We got this inspection procedures signed and approved by even government companies like Nuclear Power Corporation of India. Earlier you saw the example of defense client. So normally, people would think that getting approval from government entity or a defense entity would be much more tougher because of the security implications. There's the possibility of leakage of data, but we were able to convince them that everything was secure and we were able to get orders even from such entities. Apart from the local organizations, you can see some of the other clients who have successfully accepted the remote inspection mode, coming from Technicus Reunidas to JGC Japan Gas Corporation to Saudi Aramco to Petroleum Development Oman. So all private as well as public organizations from across the globe have accepted this mode of inspection. So here we'll see some of the learnings which we were able to take from implementing the augmented reality platform. So the tool might have been purchased for one application. We initially thought it will work as a very good sales tool, as you would have seen in the use case of Expo and one-on-one interaction with the customer. But slowly, we found so many other applications for this Smart Glass platform, from remote inspection to customer training to audit of a factory, like how we saw it in the case of Dukum. So we were able to get so many other learnings out, so many other applications for this platform. To sustain the tool, what we did was whenever we had an interaction with some customer or an entity, we found out that some problems were coming out of it. We maintained a log of that issue, and then we also noted down how we overcame the issue. Then what happened was after 10 to 20 customers, the 21st customer, when we found some issue, we just went, we saw the list of issues what we already had and what was the topmost issues among them. And when we went and resolved, checked all those points one by one, within the third or fourth point, usually we were able to overcome the connectivity issue. So initially it used to take 15 to 20 minutes to overcome the connectivity issues. But with the help of the manual, what we developed, within 5 minutes, we were able to find out the issue and have a very smooth virtual mode of communication. So we had a lot of support from the top management. For example, our chief executive would demonstrate the tool in every one of his meetings. It would have been embarrassing for him sometimes when the tool didn't work out initially, but his faith in the technology eventually reaped a lot of benefit when the tool became successful eventually. There was a lot of team effort involved because not only did one particular team such as digitalization take it up, but every team in the function from contracts management to the sales team, everyone told their customer that we have this kind of a tool, would you like to see it? Only because they were promoting the tool actively that we find so much use for the particular tool. And one of the next point was to not give up on it. So whenever you take up some new technology, people try it out, and initially, due to some of the initial hiccups, they give up on it very easily. But to sustain the tool, you actually need to do the example of what I had given of maintaining some kind of log and then learning systematically how to overcome those issues. The next point I wanted to talk about was we actually collaborated with the platform provider, like a co-creator. We would give them periodic feedback on what worked, what didn't work, what additional features we wanted, and so on. Next point is that there is always a solution. For example, uh, in the initial years, there was no provision to have multiple people on the call at the same time. So what we did at that time was having one person among the end customer get connected by the platform, and then he would share his screen with the other people through one of the standard tools such as Skype for Business. So there is always a solution. You don't need to give up on the tool just because it didn't help with one particular use case. So the last point I wanted to tell was always give the tool a chance. Don't think that some customer is above it or beneath it. For example, if I would have thought that defense company will never accept such a platform, then we would have never seen this tool see the light of day. So we gave the defense customers a chance. Also, we were able to demonstrate the tool to CERN, who invented the internet. We didn't think that such a prestigious company may not prefer seeing the tool, but we anyway gave it a chance and asked them whether they'd like to see it. And we secured a meeting with Sun to demonstrate the tool and uh, then explore the possibility of buying valves from us. Finally, I had already touched upon the business continuity. Since we already had a very tried and established tool, we could without any interruption continue making the valves and selling them, because valve is such a critical component in the end customer's plant. Any leakage in the valve can lead to devastating disasters where many people can lose their lives. That's the reason every valve made is inspected by the customer before the customer would travel to a plant, or they would arrange one of the representatives to come to the plant and see the valve. But once the pandemic hit, many of the other valve manufacturers were crippled. They couldn't dispatch the valves even though they made it. They were just piling up inventory without any sales. But since we had the smart glass in place, we were able to demonstrate the valve remotely, and we continued dispatching the valves, and our cash inflow was steady even throughout the pandemic. So we released another procedure called customer inspection of valves during unanticipated situation. We sent it to all our customers so that they could know that the valves would continue going out to them even though pandemic was spread throughout. So this is one particular use case for training all our customers in. If this is the one in the US, so they are sitting and seeing how we are making the valves. So I'll just play the video so that you see how they are able to see the manufacturing in the plant from all the way from the US. That's it. Thank you, everyone. So if any one of you would like to see a real-time plant tour, then you can write a mail to me at this email ID and I'd be happy to show you how the tool works. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.